Hi everyone, today we are going to see how the user cookie filter works. The user cookie filter was added this year, 2023, November or so, and we have a few options here for the user cookie. So this video we are going to talk about each option and what is the use case for each option we have. Example, the logged in user, show a message only when the user logged in for the first time. And that's useful for if you want to show a notification, let the user know about coming up holidays, so they don't see that message all the time when they access that page, only when they logged in first time. And this other filter here, it's the user case is more if you have a product and the user accesses the page, let's say for the second and third time, and you want to show that pop-up saying if the user is interested in contact your company, or if the user accesses a specific documentation or an application program that you want to show a pop-up if the user has accessed, let's say, twice that page. So then you can show a specific pop-up asking the user for more information, or you can just show a pop-up for the user to redirect to another page. It's up to you. So that's those scenarios that we're going to talk and how the user cookie works. So yeah, I guess we can start. So let's start from the beginning. So here we have an advanced message. I just chose any template. So the cookie works for any template here that we have, even for buttons. So if you go back here and click on filters, we'll see, let me delete that. We will see this page here. And then we click add filter, and then you're going to have an option here as user cookie. And then when you choose that option, you'll see two warning messages here basically. One, it's red because by default the cookie is disabled for any message that you create. So you need to enable that. Once you click enable, we do have another option here for disable the cookie as well and enable. As I said, it's disabled by default. When you click enable, it's going to enable that message there. And then now this message can use the user cookie. Another message we have here is about just a reminder that this filter here is using one of the options here as the user cookie. And one of the options does register a cookie. And then if you need to update your privacy policy, you should update because you're using a cookie from the end user. We do have a documentation about that as well. You can check on clicking here. And here on this documentation, we explain all the things that we're going to talk about here, and also much more detailed stuff, which is like what is the cookie information that we saved actually on the end user browse. So here we have some information on how that works, and we might go over those options here. So let's go back here. So here the first option we have is the logged in for the first time, which means that if the user logged in, he would see the message, and then if he goes to another page and come back, he will not see that message because he did not log in again. It has been the second time. So here's an example. So let's do an example. So here and then done, and then I'm gonna publish that. I will go to my account page here. I will drag and drop the advanced component, and I will show cookie filter message. I think I'm using the Salesforce engine. I am, so I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna make that a EvoluteMessage engine so I can. And I also want to make this inline. Okay, so if I save and go back here, so as an user, an admin, I should be able to see the message once. Actually, it did already trigger that. So another option we have for the cookie is, let me show here something. So here, I'm gonna go a little bit deep at this stage. So if we check the cookie that was created, if we search for AVM, so by default, if we enable each message has different code, so we would create a different cookie. So I'm gonna clean out this cookie here from the evolute message. And then if I reload my page again, it should just reload the message and register a new cookie. There we go. So I have my message. And then it did register a cookie here. So now if I reload the page, I should not be able to see that, because the filter that I chose is if the logged in user, if the user logged in for the first time. And in this case, I didn't. I just reload the page. If I went to another page and come back here on the record page, I should not see the message again because I did not log out and logged in again. I saw the message already. I don't need to see that message again. So that's the process, how it works. And then if I logged out, so that's logged out. And then if I go to account and then my record page, I should see the message again because I did logged out and now I'm logged in again. And I do see the message. Right now the message is disappearing, so let me change that to be sticky there. So then, oops, because I logged out and logged in again, so I lost my session. So let me refresh this. And then let me make that sticky so then that doesn't disappear. Okay, so that's one of the filters of logged in and for the first time. That's how it works. And I show here the cookie gets update as well. I think another message register another cookie. So that's how it works. Okay, so the other option we have here is the number of page access. So basically these two are very similar. The difference is this is more for a home page or when you don't want to register by record. Okay, so let's imagine an application page. An application page doesn't have an ID if you use that in a digital experience cloud, right? So that's the option for that. An application page, you can have many with different names on the URL. And then if you want to show that message for the user, if the user has access, let's say, that application page for the second time or the third time, then we want to show a message for the user. So I'm going to change here, gonna put 2 and save. And then now, if I refresh my page, you'll see that we're going to register a new cookie. Click on my change. Let me just see here. Number of page access. Yeah, this is the number of page access 2. So it did register 1 here, which means that I access the page once and I don't see that because the logic here is to show the message only when the user accesses the message for the second time. So if I reload the page, yeah, now I should see the message because the user did access that for the second time. So in this case here, the message is showing. And then if the user accesses for the third time, let's say go to another page and come back here for the third time, I should not see the message because the logic here is only if it's equal to 2. If you want to change it's greater than, let's say, after this, I want to show the message all the time because it seems like the user is interested in something that you want to show the message pop-up to help. So that's the use case. But let's say I have, because I'm using here on a record page, but let's say you have a digital experience cloud site and you have products and the user accesses a specific product, and that's where you want to show a specific message. Let's say different products. If the user accesses, let's say, the account once, you don't want to show, but if the user accesses the salesforce.com 2 times, then you want to show only for this a message. So here you choose the record page. On the record page, we would track the record that the user has been accessed. So let me publish here. And so that's our guys. So I'm going to remove this so then we don't get confused. We are going to create a new cookie here when I reload this page. And for this record here, we are going to register how many times the user accessed this record. In this case, it accessed just once, so we are now going to show the message because we said 2. If I access the same record again, so if I reload this page again, accessing the same record, this would be 2, and then we would show a pop-up message. There we go. So we would show the message here. If I access another record, global media would not show, but if I access Acme, would not show. But now if I go, let's say, to global media again, I would see the message. So that's how this filter works for the message. And that's the difference between the page access and record page access. So that's very deep. So another option we have is, let's say you set the message and then like the user did see here, and then after that the user is not going to see that message anymore, right? Because it's the 3rd time and we set up 2 there. But let's say you update something here. If you update something, say test, and then save, you still want your users to see that message or reset that configuration on the user browse, right? Because if you reload here, the user will not see the message, right? Because that's the configuration we set. So we do have an option to reset the configuration when you update anything. And that is reset on update. So once that is set, it means that when you update the message, every time you publish the message, we would reset all the configuration for the user. So in this case, if I reload the page, we should reset this to 1 record and 1 count. And then if I access that message again, it should now display the message with the new configuration that I set, which is just put test. There you go. So that's how it works here, the option of reset on update. Let's say somehow the privacy policy was now updated and you actually have to disable the message, the cookies. You don't want cookies at all on the page. So if that happens, even you can just come here and disable that. So that would block the cookies and we would not register any cookie anymore. All the cookies actually would be removed from the user. So that's how it works, the disable of the cookie. It basically resets the cookies, remove all the cookies, so we don't register that anymore. So be careful and use that as well, because on the other side would reset all the cookies. So all the message would show up again if you are using that as a base. Another configuration we have here is the expire after. The expire after is how long that cookie is going to exist on the user if the user has not accessed the page. And basically, by default, it's 90 days. You can define any days you want. So I think that's all for. And when you access here, it's going to show the message because it's disabled. And I think that's all for the user cookie filter. If you have any scenario that you can see value on that and you'd like to see a use case, please let me know. I will put we do have a playlist for some use cases that we use with user cookie on YouTube. So I do suggest you check other playlists called use cases, and we'll show that. Also, if you have any questions, please take a look on our documentation, I'd suggest first. And then if you don't find any information here that answer your question, please don't hesitate to contact us. We would be very happy to help. I think that's all, and thank you very much.